Here comes the Men in Black, protecting the Earth from the scum of the universe. Top secret government agents who monitor extraterrestrial life on Earth, who turn up wherever aliens run amok to put a stop to their shenanigans. They live in secret, with the outside world not knowing about their existence, and have the ability to wipe the memory of anyone who has had an alien encounter. They are here to save the world from dangerous alien threats who want to destroy the planet. Released in 1997 and directed by Barry Sonnenfeld and produced by Steven Spielberg and starring the charismatic talents of Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, Men in Black is to aliens what Ghostbusters was to ghosts, assuring a fun supernatural comedy of action-packed frills and spills, where the MIB must defeat an evil alien bug played with great menace by Vincent D'Onofrio, who wants sugar in water, apparently. So today, before we get our memories wiped, we are going to be looking into 10 things that you may not know about Men in Black, in celebration of this fun, wacky alien romp from the late 90s. So, let's check it out.
You just flash that thing, it erases her memory, and you just make up a new one?
A standard issue neuralizer.
And that weak-ass story is the best you can come up with.
Number 10, based on a comic book. Okay, so Men in Black the movie wasn't entirely an original piece, as it was loosely based on a comic book series called The Men in Black, created by Lowell Cunningham and published in 1990 by Malibu Comics, which would become owned by Marvel Comics. The Men in Black is about a top-secret international group which investigates all manner of paranormal activity. Unlike the movie, which just focuses on aliens and UFOs, the Men in Black in the original comic also investigated demons, vampires, zombies, werewolves, and mutants. Just like the movie, the Men in Black wipe people's minds with a memory neutralizer, with much of the action focusing on agents K, J, and Z, but also X, who would go on to become a rogue agent. The comic is darker and grittier than the movie, and to me almost has a sense of noir about it, and the comic even questions the morality of the MIB as to whether or not the organisation is good or evil, as it doesn't want to protect, but to control and manipulate the world. And incidentally, after the movie's release, Marvel would go on to release a lineup of Men in Black comics that were based on the movie, sticking to the movie's more fun, playful nature that was seen in the film. Number 9, reluctance to Tommy Lee Jones. Director Barry Sonnenfeld originally had reservations with working with actor Tommy Lee Jones due to his perceived image of being grouchy and bad-tempered. Sonnenfeld stated that he even saw Jones in an interview once and thought to himself that he would never want to work with that jerk. In fact, Jones's supposed bad-temperedness is so well known, just look at what happened while making Batman Forever just 2 years prior, where it has since become apparent that he flat out did not like Jim Carrey. However, Sonnenfeld's preservations for Jones changed while making the movie, as he said he loved every minute of working with the acclaimed actor, and that they had gotten along really well, and admitted as long as you have clear opinions, there is no problems with working with him.
Why don't you get a massage, take a cruise,
Drop the weapon and put your hands on your head.
You have any idea how much that stings?
Yep, I'm sure there's a life lesson in there somewhere about not listening to popular rumour and actually seeing things for yourself. Either way, Tommy Lee Jones is a brilliant actor who always delivers a stellar performance. Number 8, most successful action buddy movie. We are all familiar with the cop buddy movie template. Two unlikeliest of cops or agents joining forces to take on a greater foe, with action and comedic shenanigans ensuing. This genre can be very polarizing, as there are ones like Lethal Weapon and Last Boy Scout which are celebrated, which people seem to love, and then there's not so good ones like Cop Out and Cops and Robinsons, which don't go down too well and make the trend seem tired and generic. Seriously, does anyone even remember Cops and Robinsons, or is that just me? And believe it or not, but not only is Men in Black considered a buddy action movie, on the account it sees the formation of a duo law enforcement buddy ship, but also Men in Black is still to this day the most financially successful buddy action movie, with it grossing an impressive $250 million at the box office.
Series 4, deatomizer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Noisy cricket.
I feel like I'm gonna break this damn thing.
Number 7, the Will Smith rap song got the Sonny's advertising off the hook. So to promote the film, Will Smith released a tie-in rap song called Men in Black, of course. The song was Will Smith's first solo work as a music performer, and uses sound samples from the 1982 song Forget Me Nots. Smith's infectious rapping and energy he puts into the song would see the song sell over 3 million copies, and even winning a Grammy Award in 1998, making it a true crowning victory for Smith's musical career. However, not only that, but the song actually got the movie's production out of some trouble, as the sunglasses that were worn by the Men in Black in the movie were Ray-Ban Predator 2 glasses. However, the Ray-Ban company were not happy with the fact that the glasses had a coat of paint put over them in order to make them not look so reflective, as it covered the glasses' Ray-Ban logo brand. Ray-Ban wanted the logo to be visible, but the production team refused.
If only there was a certain rap song that could fix this issue. Oh wait, there was!
Yep, Will Smith to the rescue, who suggested he mentioned Ray-Ban in his Men in Black rap song, so that everyone would know that the Men in Black do indeed wear Ray-Ban sunglasses. So this compromise was agreed, and thus one impressive rap jingle later, and Ray-Ban had an increase in sales, proving the power of pop music should never be underestimated. Number 6, the aliens were created by a movie legend. Wow, this is like the 3rd episode in a row now where special effects legend Rick Baker gets a mentioning in my show. Take notes, people. September 2018 seems to be the time of Rick Baker in the Minty Comedic Arts show, as he has now previously been mentioned in my Wolf episode and Gremlins 2 one. So, yeah, who else better to create the out-of-the-world aliens than the master of special effect creatures and makeup himself, Rick Baker. For those who have seen my Wolf and Gremlins 2 episodes, will be more than aware by now that he has contributed his talents to many great movies, such as An American Werewolf in London, Videodrome, Starman, and The Frighteners, to name just a few. But he also got on board the Men in Black production to make some truly unique and memorable alien creatures. In fact, I remember watching Men in Black for the first time and literally being blown away by some of these aliens, as I had never seen anything like it before. And Baker must have had a fun, positive experience working on the movie, as he would go on to work on Men in Black's 2 subsequent sequels. And he rightfully won an Academy Award for his work on Men in Black. Number 5, possible Men in Black candidates. One of the most important aspects of Men in Black is the chemistry between agents K and J. So when casting the movie, it would have been very important to get the right actors for the job, with an actor who could pull off the old school no-nonsense demeanour of K and the more fresh, youthful, likeable smart mouth of J. Originally, Clint Eastwood was offered the role of K, but he turned it down. When Tommy Lee Jones was offered the role, he had reservations as he wasn't happy with the movie's script, but he signed up because producer Steven Spielberg insisted that the script was going to improve. Chris O'Donnell was offered the role of Jay, but he turned it down because he found the idea of being a newly trained recruit to be too similar to the Robin subplot he had previously acted through 2 years earlier in Batman Forever. Smith was offered the role because Barry Sonnenfeld was a huge fan of his work in the movie 6 Degrees of Separation. Also at that time, Smith was becoming a huge star thanks to the previous year's blockbuster Independence Day. And before Vincent D'Onofrio was cast as the villain Edgar, the giant bug alien in a human suit, the role was offered to movie legend Bruce Campbell and John Turturro. Number 4. The movie was meant to be made in the early 90s. It was in 1992 when Men in Black producers Walter F. Parkers and Laurie MacDonald bought the rights of the Men in Black comic books to turn into a movie. And from the start they wanted Barry Sonnenfeld to direct, as they liked his work on the Addams Family movie. However, Sonnenfeld was unavailable at the time as he was making the movie Get Shorty. So Parks and McDonald turned to Les Mayfield for directing duties, who had previously directed the teen comedy Encino Man. But I'm guessing the two producers weren't too impressed with his remake of Miracle on 34th Street, as after watching it they dropped him from the project, thinking that he wasn't the right director for the job. So thus, because the movie had been pushed back through delays, Sonnenfeld was now available and thus he came on board to direct.
This definitely rates about a 9.0 on my weird shitter-meter.
Sonnenfeld even brought some of his own input into the story, as originally the action was to take place in a variety of locations ranging from Washington to Kansas to Nevada, but Sonnenfeld felt that the movie's action should solely take place in New York City.
Number 3. The music of Men in Black. The film's score was composed by movie legend / former Oingo Boingo band member Danny Elfman. I swear, in the late 80s and 90s, if there was a supernatural comedy being made, Elfman was the man for the job, as at that stage he had composed many comedy movies with supernatural elements, including Beetlejuice, Scrooged, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Mars Attacks, and The Frighteners. And to be honest, I really enjoy his score for Men in Black. Some of the musical cues in it does sound similar to Beetlejuice, and I think that some of the cues that he made for the Men in Black theme would go on to be used for his Spider-Man theme, but that's not really a problem to me, as I find that the sound he creates perfectly captures the feel of the movie, giving it a mysterious, fun, comic book vibe. And if that means doing a little bit of cut and paste with other sources that he has created, well, then so be it. Number 2. Merchandising. So as mentioned, Marvel released a comic book tie-in based on the Men in Black movie, unrelated to the original comic book in which the movie was based on, of course. There was also an action figure lineup tie-in with the movie, which was very hit and miss for me. Although the alien figures looked great, the Men in Black themselves looked a bit rubbish in my opinion. For a start, why is Kay wearing blue pants? And I was never a fan of Kay and Jay's awkward poses. It made them hard to maneuver during gameplay. Then of course there was an animated series which ran from 1997 to 2001, a whopping 4 seasons, giving fans enough content to tie them down until Men in Black 2 came out. And I loved this show as a kid. Okay, I felt the animation wasn't the best and looked similar to the Extreme Ghostbusters animated series, but the humour in it was brilliant and totally recaptured the comedy and characters of the movie. And if you're a fan of Men in Black and haven't seen the cartoon, I say definitely check it out. You won't be disappointed.
And when Men in Black was released in Australia on VHS in the late 90s, it was given this amazing clamshell case and made it all shiny and glittery and even gave it this green case colour.
Number 1. Men in Black might be real. Despite the fact that the Men in Black movies are based on a comic book series, the actual legend, or rather urban legend of the Men in Black has been around for decades, as there have been reports of strange men dressed in black who turn up on locations where supposed real-life UFO or alien encounters have taken place, and that it's the Men in Black's job to silence people so no one would know the truth. Ever since the 40s and 50s, there have been strange tales of these agents who turn up on the occasion of supernatural events. The most popular belief is that they work for the government, who don't want the general public to know about the existence of aliens. And another theory even suggests that the Men in Black are themselves aliens and have advanced technology. And there are even supposed, and I do mean supposed, eyewitnesses whom have bared witness to these strange Men in Black. So what do you guys think? Could the Men in Black be real? And if so, are they friends or are they foes?
Anything about that seem unusual to you?
Well guys, that was my look into the strange world of Men in Black. A very fun and enjoyable movie. I've always thought of Men in Black as being one of those wacky, crazy movies from the 80s, only it's made in the 90s. It's lots of fun, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and has plenty of eye-widening candy and gags and action to keep amused fans returning for multiple viewings. Anyway, I'm Minty, and I want sugar in water. See ya!